Hello, welcome to Jewish Stories for Kids on KabbalahWisdom.org. I am so happy that you're back watching a story. This is really one of the nicest stories I know. It's such a beautiful story. When the Rebbe became Rebbe in 1951, there was a rabbi, I think his name was Rosenberg from France. And Rabbi Rosenberg said, now I know that the Rebbe has Mesiras Nefesh. What does Mesiras Nefesh mean? You know, sometimes you want to do something, but you know the right thing is something else, so you have to have Mesiras Nefesh. You have to not do what you want to do the right thing. He says, now I know the Rebbe has Mesiras Nefesh for the three great loves a Jew has to have. That's the love of Hashem, the love of Torah and mitzvahs, and the love for the fellow Jew. Let me tell you why. He says, I was the rabbi in France, and when the Nazis came to France, they went around and they asked everybody, what is your religion? Unfortunately, I don't know if you know this, but the Nazis were a terrible group of people from Germany, and they came all over Europe and they murdered over 7 million Jews and many, many other people, very, very bad people. Well, when they came to the Rebbe's apartment, the Rebbe wasn't there, but his wife, the Rebbeson, was there. So she was a very clever woman. She says, my religion is Orthodox. Now, Orthodox might be Orthodox Judaism, but there's also something called Greek Orthodox. So a person wouldn't know. So she could have saved her life. She said Orthodox because when they rounded up the Jews, they wouldn't know who she is. Well, when the Rebbe got home and his wife told him what happened, do you know what he did? He went to the Nazi office and he says, we are Jewish Orthodox. Because he, even on a paper in the Nazi office, even if it would cost him his life, he didn't want anyone to think that he wasn't a proud Jew. That's story number one. Wait, thank you. Sorry, that was for my cameraman to wait because there are another two more stories here. The next story is that he said that the Rebbe came to him when he was in France and he started to have a debate. And the debate was, is a Jew allowed to give his life? Because there are three sins if God forbid you have this choice. Let's say somebody says, murder someone or I'll murder you. Well, you have to say, you can murder me. I can't murder anyone. So it's for idol worship, murder, or adultery. But what about if someone says, I don't know, eat this food which isn't kosher or I'll kill you? So what do? So the truth is, you have to eat the non-kosher food because your life takes precedence. So tomorrow you'll eat kosher food. However, if the whole reason they're saying eat this non-kosher food is not because, let's say they want to sell you, I don't know, the latest brand, but because they're trying to go against Judaism, then if you want to, you can give your life for that mitzvah. Because everything a Jew does, he has to make sure it says in the Torah, because only the Torah teaches us what's right and what's wrong. There's no other group or book in the world that can teach you what's right or wrong. Science can teach you, let's say we're here in nature, it can teach you all about water and it can teach you about trees, but it can't tell you what's right or what's wrong. Only Torah tells you right and wrong. So the Rebbe came to this rabbi who was a great, what we call Talmud Chacham. He knew a lot of Torah. And he says, do I have the right to put my life in danger if maybe I could do a mitzvah better? Not to do a mitzvah, maybe do a mitzvah better. What was the story? You see, the chabad, we have a custom to get esrogim from Calabria. As you know, we use an esrog on Sukkot, and the best esrog is from Calabria, Italy. The Rebbe was in France, so he wanted to escape the border into Calabria, get that esrog, and come back. So the rabbi knew that the Rebbe was very serious. The Rebbe wasn't a person who jokes around, so he tried to convince the Rebbe that you shouldn't. But the Rebbe convinced him that in this circumstance he's allowed to risk his life. And he risked his life, and he came back with a few esrogim for him and the other people. And he says, now I knew the Rebbe has Mesiras Nefesh for Torah and mitzvahs. Look, he was ready to give his life, not even for a mitzvah, to do a mitzvah beautiful. Now listen to this. He says, and when the Rebbe became Rebbe, I knew the Rebbe has Mesiras Nefesh for his love of his fellow Jew, because the Rebbe was a person who hated public attention. The Rebbe wouldn't, even if you called him up for an aliyah, as you know in shul, you give a man an honor. The Rebbe didn't even want an aliyah. He didn't want any honor whatsoever. He hated to be in the public light. And yet, he was asked by the community, and when the community asks you to do something for them, you have to respond. And you know what? He did it, and he led the Jewish world, and he's soon going to come back with Mashiach, and we're all going to be happy forever in Eretz Yisrael. Thanks for watching.